Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Fuck You, Dad. You know what it is, everybody. This week, we have a very special guest. A lot of people have comedy parents. I have a comedy mom and a comedy dad. We'll meet my comedy dad later. Oh, my God. But right now, we have my comedy mom on. It's Jennie Stencel, all the way from Greensboro, North Carolina. Jennie, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you kids doing?
Phenomenal. In my little brother's bedroom, recording with the green screen. Never been better. Killing it.
We grew up, comedically. Now we're doing our own podcast in our own little closets.
Yeah, you left us and moved away.
We did. We started comedy at your little comedy club, The Idiot Box. I don't even mean little in a bad. I mean little in a good way, actually, because a lot of the big ones kind of suck.
It's a very good intimate room.
Yeah, it's good. It's a fun room. It'll be fun for a few more years for sure.
Yeah.
I feels like all of society will be fun for a few more years for sure. So I think
and then it will be over.
Yeah. So,
doesn't it feel
if the
like
comedy club could last as long as Western civilization? That's a pretty good
Yeah.
It does feel like everyone's attitude is like, well, we're enjoying it as, with everything coming back, it feels like we're just kind of like, everyone knows it's a slide to a pit somewhere and we're all just kind of waiting.
Like, what's going to be at the bottom? We don't know.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good, but we're just going to get on the slide.
I feel like it's at a restaurant or a bar where you're running up a tab that you don't know you have. You don't have the money for it. But you're kind of like, I don't want to look at the bill. I know it's bad. I'm going to enjoy it right now. Because there's going to be a dark moment where I run for the car. But and now it's just the fun time.
Let's just keep eating Sundays and
they let you know about the bill. They're like, it's 130 in Seattle, and you're like, okay.
Oh, really? That seems fine. I don't live there.
Whatever.
Jennie, are you enjoying the return of comedy?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it turned out to be. The break was, how everybody says people don't want to work anymore. They don't want to go back to work.
Yeah.
And I mean, like a lot of people are saying it. I didn't remember how much work this was. So I'm not like loving it.
Right. Because you're like, it was pretty nice.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was hard work because it's all I've ever done.
Right.
And so then when I had a year not really doing it when I felt like it or just open mics or whatever, it was really easy. And now I'm,
swamped,
scrubbing the toilets again and booking shows and
Yeah.
So no, I'm not really enjoying it.
Yeah. You're just out here like making geese kiss pigs, hoping something catches.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm like,
you're like rubbing a parrot against a pig. You're like, just something. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I got some savings. I don't need this.
Yeah. We just go back to watching Netflix.
Remember when I just laid in bed for 5 days? Let's do
that. I felt good about myself. I was like, I'm a responsible citizen.
Yeah, it is fun hearing new jokes and people be funny again. That part is really fun.
Yeah. No, society.
Yeah,
it's gonna crumble. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to see people out and enjoying themselves and not inside crying.
Yeah. It is nice that nobody killed themselves and we've all made it out the other side.
Right.
Better than I expected. So 100% success rate.
Jennie was prepared for the worst.
I was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, knowing what comedians are like and to have it just totally shut down overnight and to be like, stay in your apartment, don't talk to anybody. I was like, man, some of these people aren't going to make it for sure.
For sure. Well, yeah, no, for real. Like actually, so the Idiot Box is next to a bar that went out of business. So I bought the business and the business has a patio. And so I was able to host outside open mics.
I saw those.
Very cool. Very fun, right?
It was really nice because I think it kept a lot of people from going stir crazy or killing themselves.
Yeah. The crazy breed of comic, I think I've talked about this before,
Who
though.
started during COVID.
The people who started at the outdoor mics, I feel
We
like
had a bunch.
I know those people are wild.
They got a level of fucking going for it I will never have. Because I'm gonna tell you
And
something. If I didn't
they
have a
don't
good
know
job during the
anything
pandemic, I
about
wouldn't have.
comedy. Yeah,
Yeah.
they know nothing about what like how shows are booked or who's nice
Yeah.
or what's going to happen if you go to this place or why is this person harassing. Like they don't understand any of the social media. It's kind of hilarious to watch somebody just be thrown into the deep end of comedy, which is kind of what happens.
It's kind of like going to art school during the Holocaust or something, where it's like a really weird time to like double down on creative endeavors.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think I got mad at it because it stabs at my ego. Because when I did during the quarantine, like I did like
nothing.
puzzles and stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like, comedy isn't a little thing you just do to pass the time away. Like it isn't a puzzle or like a board game.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, no, it is. And so is everything. Yeah.
It's just a puzzle we want to earn money doing.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. No, for sure. For sure. Were you worried that anyone would like break into your house just to do 5? Like you would just your family would be like tied up, and then they're just like, "All right, you guys are gonna listen. Tinder used to be hard; it's even harder." You put those hands together.
It is funny how things run in threads though. So like when I watch the submission videos for the festival, there's 500 to 900 normally, and you know, every year it's something different where it's like, oh, there's 300 jokes about Tinder was one year. And then this year was, oh, it's, so I've been locked in the apartment with my dog. Like it's saying, you know.
That's the new Tinder.
That's the new Tinder.
Is this post-apocalyptic hell you live through. Doesn't it suck to me? Every tragedy, there'll be just a million hack jokes. Like it'll just someone's like, so how about that mushroom cloud? And like their face is melted. And everyone's gonna be like, this fucking guy, quit talking about it. We all have the radiation burnings. No one wants to hear about it.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got a third lung now. We blah blah blah.
Yeah. Oh man.
So, Jenny, when you grew up in Wisconsin, correct?
My mom kidnapped us.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, slow your roll.
Yeah.
So
I
was born in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And I don't think they really called it kidnapping then, but it would be kidnapping now. Okay, so she was like, I'm going to move to North Carolina and not tell your dad. Come on, kids, let's get on the train.
Oh, okay. Damn. So, all right.
I know. Now, I love my mom. She was wonderful, but that probably was not her finest moment.
Yeah, was it like your dad was problematic and that was kind of why, or no?
I think that they were really petty divorced people.
Okay. So she was just going hard into like, oh, you want to see him a couple times a week. How about not at all?
I think she didn't want to live in Wisconsin. And
that is a fair thing.
Yeah. And where we lived was this town with like 900 people, which is half the size of most high schools, you know, like, and so she just picked my brother and sister up from school and we got on a train and I was like 4. So I grew up in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Okay.
My dad was real cool about it. He was like, that's all right. And he came and visited. He was much nicer about it than, you know, today.
He could have been in jail. The law enforcement could have came through.
Yeah, they don't, like, men didn't have rights with their kids. And they still in a lot of cases don't. But back then nobody gave it.
No, there is like kind of a definite sexism where it's like, what's this man gonna do? Love a kid? Come on. What is he, gay?
And then, there's a lot of that.
Always like, no, the mom's shooting heroin and punching him. And you're like, but it's your mom, all right? Yeah. You got a loving, that's what moms are for. That's the one that loves you. The daddy teaches you hard lessons.
Mom loves you. Yeah, it is funny because she never, like, she just said, oh, we moved. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago where I realized, oh, we were like kidnapped.
Yeah.
I know.
That's a lot of growing up, is realizing that your life is not normal and that was actually a horrific trauma. Where you're like, what doesn't happen to everybody? Nobody moved by middle of the night. You throw your bags in a car and say, don't wake daddy.
And like I remember I had stuff to play with on the train, and we moved here, and then we were the only poor people in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Right, that's a hard place to be poor. What'd you give you to play with on the plane? Like a effigy of your dad? It's like
I remember I had a chalkboard with little chalks and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I like the voodoo doll better.
I had a chalkboard as well in another sort of weird situation where I think I had, this is weird when this happens, but I played with a chalkboard when my mom used to bring me on these like late night drives, but she would just go for drives and bring me, which now seems like she might be planning to kidnap me at some point.
That just seems like a marriage problem. She's like, I need to go around and drive and make sure I still want to live this life with your father.
And I would give it a chalkboard.
Yeah, just sort of. Oh man.
Maybe she was like delivering things and you didn't know, like working.
It could have been that, or I don't remember, but
yeah,
I do remember the chalkboard. That's why I spell my name Nik, is because I was like learning letters.
Was illiterate?
Way easier.
Was illiterate.
It was easier, and now I stuck with it, and now I've attached my whole perspective and identity on life on it, so I can't change it. If I put a C in, I'm just like every other Nick out there, and then what am I?
I completely agree.
So you grew up in Chapel Hill, and then what made you like when did you notice like you becoming funny?
I do remember a couple of like things that were funny in school when I was young, but I wasn't like naughty until high school. But I do remember being at a party, and there were like, it was a party at my friend Catherine's house. It was like everybody was there, plus everybody's friends. So like people that I didn't normally interact with, and I was telling some story, and the whole room was laughing, and I was like, "Whoa, this is pretty cool."
Yeah.
So I remember that, like, because that's like a high. You're like, "Oh, everybody loves me right now."
Especially at a party, like that is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unheard of now because everyone has phones. So it's like
right.
The amount of like ridiculousness that you have to be to get a whole room's attention. You have to literally jump on a table with your shirt off and smash it.
Yes, yeah, which I did not do, but I not at that party anyway.
Yeah.
But it was like, that was pretty cool. And then I started taking like improv classes when I was like 20.
Okay, that's always the innocent way to get in, isn't it?
Well, it's kind of the only way to get in a lot of areas.
Oh,
so,
I see. Okay.
Especially in North Carolina in that time, I think.
Yeah, there was I wouldn't have even thought of doing stand-up. I wouldn't have even thought of doing improv, except that my sister did it.
Okay.
I did like being on stage, but it wasn't like, neither of those things occurred to me until like one led to the other. And I like both. I mean, I don't particularly, improv is interesting because I think it takes you 10 years to get good at it, just like I think the same thing with stand-up. But most of the people you watch do improv have been doing it for 3 months. So
yeah.
To me, a lot of improv shows are just like an open mic,
Right.
And so there might be somebody that says something really good, but that was one thing out of the hour and a half.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I prefer to be around people that have been doing it for 24 years. Like, I've been doing it for 25 years now. So then it can be cool. Then it's fun because these people can think so fast and create a whole world that you'll buy into. But when everybody's new.
That's why a lot of people, when we've made fun of improv on this show, but I used to go to the Idiot Box to do improv, and you guys did make it fun because when you're doing it with people who've been doing it for 20 plus years, I'm just on the ride and I get to say a funny line, but you guys totally, like you said, like you make it so easy by doing that. And then it's a blast. But
I know why we make fun of it.
Yeah. Because bad improv is very bad, and it's Brad's stand-up at least is like, I don't know. It's easy to be like, this guy sucks, but when there's multiple people,
like the genre sucks.
It opens a wormhole of suck, and then it's
right.
unstoppable.
Right. And then I think also the type of person that's drawn to one versus the other.
Yeah. I think that's what I always regret not taking an improv class. Think would have helped.
Oh, you're so smart. You'd be so good at it.
But yeah, I think about doing it, but I think it's because the theatery type kid, they really put me off to the point where I'm like, we won't fit in. Like I could try to do improv, but I'm like, oh, like I feel like you're the type of person like your mom doesn't want to drop me off where I live. You know what I mean? Like
well,
that's
so like that was what was interesting when I moved from Chapel Hill to Greensboro. We have some theater people, but they're the cool ones. But there's a lot less of that. It's really just people that think quickly that decided to try it. So I have less of those people. If I lived in a big city where I was trying, like if I was trying to do this at UCB, I would have no friends. You know, like, you know, I would use the wrong pronoun on accident, and that would be the end of it. You know, it would be or whatever.
You'd be executed at high noon for sure.
Yeah. And or I would have a political like some sort of moderate view on something, and I get murdered in the parking lot. Like there, you know, I wouldn't be liberal. I'm not liberal enough, or I'm not whatever. You know, so.
Yeah.
But here, everybody's like, cool. Let's all be cool. Like it's easier environment. That's why you live in. Sure. That's why you stay in your shitty town and you don't move to big cities.
Maybe
I mean that's definitely there. You're like, because it's real America. You get away with saying what you fucking think, or you go over there.
What you want.
You're coming off a little. Well, I don't know. I'd probably get in trouble. The improv place. Yeah, no, I'm just joking. But it's fine.
That's what improv in the South should be called. Just say what you want.
Yeah.
It would be wild. That would be wild. No, everybody's there. They're all good people.
Yes. But like you said, it is a lot of people. It's not theater people. It's people who think like they're very good problem solvers. A lot of the Idiot Box improv crew. And they all do stuff on their house that's crazy or write novels. They're good people.
Yeah. Make video games, novels, all kinds of stuff.
That laugh that you get from improv is just as rewarding as stand-up. If not a little bit more, because it makes
you did it on the fly.
You feel funny as a person. You're not like that joke I wrote was funny. You're like, I am funny.
I am funny. Yeah. It is really neat. I think also like because I did improv for so long before I did stand-up, I came at stand-up from a completely different direction than almost anybody else. So
I think that's why you're really good at it.
I still am not convinced I have a lot of jokes. But I can
get up stage and you start talking. It's funny.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm gonna tell you about this kid, you know, or whatever. And, you know, eventually it becomes a joke, but I don't, you know, I think that I was so comfortable in front of people to start with that I didn't have some of the battles. But, you know, the joke writing battle is a real battle that I definitely have.
No, but it's I think it's a better place to be. Whereas for a lot of years, it's like if the thing doesn't work, I guess I'll just shit my pants. I guess I'll just sit here like an idiot and have a panic attack if the lines failed me. You know?
Yeah, that's because I never cared about like making a fool out of myself. So like the performing and being like high energy or whatever, I didn't care. But it was how do I write a joke, which I still struggle to really to this day. It's so hard now to try to get back because I didn't write a thing during the quarantine because I was like the world is over. I don't know. I just like I couldn't be creative.
There was nothing new happening in your life. So
exactly.
There was nothing new happening. Like there was nothing new. I didn't write jokes till the very end of the pandemic.
Me too.
Or I mean, I know it's not over, but like
right
when things I was like, ooh, this and this but like that's when things started happening. You know.
Yeah, I was too drunk the entire time. I was just like, oh, now I can think. Just woke up. I was like, oh, shit. Oh, it's March? Yeah, I should probably write something.
I got that bar, and it turns out so was everyone else.
Yeah. Pretty much.
The thing I'm trying to get, like what's really killing me right now is I'm drinking like the quarantine, but it's costing so much more because I'm at like bars and comedy clubs.
Yeah.
And I forgot about that because I you know, like at home I drink 3 Jamesons and it's great. And then I did that at the bar and they're like $45. And I was like, oh my God. And I bought, and then once I get drunk, I'm one of these like, oh, I'll buy you. I bought 2 pitchers. Oh, no. Next thing you know, I gotta sell a PlayStation.
Yeah, don't do that. You've got to save your money in case you need retirement.
You can always just not do that.
I can change my behavior.
You can just not do that. The only person in AA, you're like, well, I maxed out my Capital One, so that's why I'm here. I'm just done. No, I still want to do it. I'm just broke. You guys can get a GoFundMe
I needed somewhere to hang out.
Yeah. I just don't know. Someone has a 40 I can take a sip out of.
AA is the cheapest place to run your 5. You can't spend any money there. They give you coffee.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's great. If you have like an awesome, funny drinking story and you're like, this is why I'm here. And then you run the story and then you go to another and you run it again. And they're like, oh, he's a funny, troubled soul. And then,
I think we should do this.
Yeah, I think I'm going to show up to AA with I have some drinking stories, just with a bit, just bits, and then just keep going. And everyone's relating to you.
I don't know. I still think you guys are trying to trap me. You're like, no, Nick, it's an open mic. You get some time. And then you're just like poking me in a church somewhere.
No, we're just in. We just go in. It's just your parents with tears in their eyes.
Yeah.
And a chalkboard. Your mom's got a chalkboard.
Oh,
it's like,
no.
Nick, good help.
It's time to I started a new podcast called The Truth, and it's time to hear it. Okay? It's just I'm crying.
I still haven't told my dad about this podcast.
He knows. They all know.
They probably don't.
Yeah,
are they on social media? Maybe
that's
they do.
out there.
He doesn't have any of it.
You gotta live your life and kind of just worry about that later.
You're right. This pod's too hot. It's a train I can't stop at this point.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it. And you can always just say it's about Kenyon's dad.
Which you could pretty much say. Yeah.
And then Kenyon can say it's about your dad. So it
no,
all works.
I mean it doesn't. My dad's like, who cares?
The classic sleepover switcheroo.
That would be a nice
each other's
move,
parents.
but I don't know. My dad calls me out and I'm just gonna be like, come on. Yeah, what you think? What did you think was gonna happen? I'm never gonna bring this up. I'm gonna sleep on fucking 10 years of good stories. Go fuck yourself. Come on. This my life. So,
He wanted to start his own podcast, which
I am going to help him start his own podcast while I'm in North Carolina. That is my God given promise to the pod.
I can't wait.
We will release it.
Wait.
We will release us reviewing it as a Patreon. That is that is going to happen. If it's the last thing I do on this planet.
Don't let him say anything that it shouldn't say on recorded. Like,
Oh, that's all that's gonna be recorded.
No, we're gonna let this bird fly free, man. We're gonna really just let him know, dude.
I guess you don't really you could just tell them that it's going to the internet, and it could just be going into like a USB stick, and you're like, this is the internet.
Yeah,
you don't understand.
I mean, I just should be live recording at all times at this point. That's the plan. Just have like boom mics, like a documentary.
But then his delusions become reality. He's like, there's mics everywhere, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's good stuff. It's good stuff.
That's a good point. We can't. Yeah. I'm like, Dad, you don't need equipment. The mic in the wall. Just talking to the mic in the wall.
Yeah, there you
go. Man. So Jenny, you said your mom before we got online was like kind of like an interesting parent, like besides kidnapping you. What other?
Yeah, I mean, she kidnapped us, and she was just high stress. We had a lot of trips to as I got older, she was like, hey, I'm gonna go check into the hospital, and I was like, all right,
just for what? Just health?
Crazy. I don't really know. Like, I don't think she was ever properly diagnosed with whatever it was, so she was just like, but she was definitely paranoid. So like everybody was going to kidnap
somebody. Everybody, you kidnap someone, you're like, I know how easy it is. They'll kidnap you.
Yeah.
Like I did it. It's easy as shit, dude. I just wanted a tray. Yeah.
I mean, so like, she would check the door all the time. I wasn't allowed to play outside by myself.
Oh my God.
We lived in a town with 25,000 people.
Yeah, Chapel Hill is like the safest. Like, I can't even imagine a thing happening in Chapel Hill.
Right. I mean,
I can't imagine someone having the confidence to like rob someone in Chapel Hill.
Right. And if someone broke into our house, there was nothing to steal. We lived in an apartment. We owned a black and white television. We were... There was nothing. So like no one was going to come in there. And if they were going to get a kid, they were going to get one with nicer clothes. So like I really was not the target.
Right.
If
someone broke into your house, that'd be the first time someone with ambition was in it.
Yeah, for sure. No, my sister's really motivated. She's a lawyer.
I'm just joking.
I'm not. I'm not. But So she was super paranoid, which I don't think is the best way to raise your children.
No.
So I tried really hard to do a lot of this because I am also paranoid now, right? So it's like, okay, well, how do I keep them from getting kidnapped? But I want them to feel like it's safe to play outside by themselves. So I would let them, but seriously just spy on them. So
Oh, there you go.
Just pace inside behind the window. Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine you let them, but they're like covered in grease. They're like, if they grab you, you'll slip. That's what you can do.
That's really good. That's really good. I didn't think of that.
That's the kid. You're like, oh, it's a slip and slide, and you just like cover them in grease, and then just like some.
Yeah. No, I did not do that, but it is a good idea.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm the same, but I tried to make them normal. So,
that's all you can do. You got to dilute the crazy your parents give you to where it's like, my kid will be like just a little wacky. Like if I just pass it down, you got to just put the damage down a little.
Yeah. And Steve is really normal, their dad. Right. So like really normal. Like there's nothing. Yes.
You said that with almost disdain.
Well, it's kind of
he's
strange.
really normal. Sometimes he's on level of normal that is irritating. Yeah. No.
I'm like, hey.
When I meet even killed people like that, I'm like, I always feel like in their closet, I'm just gonna open it, just 1,000 dead cats fall out.
There's nothing dead. He has no. I feel it's been a long time now. We've been married like 20-something years. I don't know, 20-something years. If he had done something terrible, I feel like I'd know by now. He knows what I've done,
Yeah. That's not in the closet. That's on the floor in the living room.
Right. Well, the office. Yeah. But, I mean, the living room's carpet. I'm not crazy.
Yeah, not that crazy.
No. But, and the kids turned out pretty good. So I think so far so good. So
yeah. Are any of them, none of them are trying to do improv or be comedians, right?
So the oldest one is probably like a science-y kind of person.
Okay.
Then the 1 year younger she was getting her BFA in theater. And then she came to see me at work at 7:52 at night, and I close at 8. And she said, hey, are you busy tomorrow? And I said, well, I'm working. And she said, because I'm getting married at 1. And so I said, okay. So I said, did you tell your dad? So then they went home to tell her dad. And so then I went to a wedding at a courthouse with drug addicts. And I'm old enough, I don't feel sorry for them. Like your generation, you think it's like a mental, I don't care.
No, you're one of those people. Yeah, I do. I see a drug addict and I want to, like, it's a mouse in your home. Like you want to feed him a little bit of cheese and let him try to.
Well, you see a drug addict and you say, hey, Kenyon, let's start the podcast.
So she did that. And now last week she moved to Hawaii. So she will live there for 2 years. So she's having a great time, but she's not doing
the tone in your voice is so good. I love it to get increasingly more insane. Well, then she did that and then she stole the car and now I'm not allowed to say I don't know where she is, but we'll see her in possibly 5 to 10, depending on the
5 to 10.
Yeah.
No,
Jenny, you talk shit about drug addicts. I'd rather my kid call me and be like, hey, I'm going to do acid tomorrow. I'd be like, yeah, sure. Instead of I'm going to get married.
I'm going to hardline some marriage.
Yeah, that's kind of
rail some marriage, and you're like, okay, all right.
It was a surprise, and also I like drug addicts. I just don't feel bad for them.
Yes,
so it's just I'm unsympathetic.
Well, you spend a lot of time around them, so I think that's fair with the comedy club.
I think that I only my supply of sympathy is really pretty extensive, but it does hit like it's like, all right, man, some of this is
what are you gonna do? I mean, you gotta for sure.
So but I know it's because I'm old, because if I was 20 I'd be like, oh, they can't help it, but I don't have that. So
right. Yeah.
But she's happy, and my son is also really funny, but he doesn't seem to want to do comedy right now. So I was kind of hoping he would, so I could quit.
Oh yeah, that's right. You need an heir.
Yeah, I thought, he'll want this comedy club.
Yeah,
it's like
nobody wants this comedy club. Literally, nobody wants this. You gotta be nice to the comics. He's gonna be like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be my worst fear of like I go back to the Idiot Box and your son runs it and he's just like a classic comedy club. Like, yeah, we sell chicken figures now. That's what I care about. That's all we do
Screech
here.
sells tickets. You
Yeah.
don't. So you ain't here. You ain't here.
I'd be like, your mother's turning in her grave right now. and I don't-
Yeah. You don't give a fuck. It's my thing now, god damn it. And ventriloquist will play this club, all right? So
We did have the nicest ventriloquist come. he came to an open mic. He was real sweet.
oh.
But
Was he the guy, did he live in his car?
Ridiculous, yeah.
I think I met one of those.
I
in
don't
North-
know.
Okay.
He was, he was nice. He had
Okay.
a lot of, I don't know that he's making money doing this,
Yeah. Well,
but
I'm not
But-
making money talking with my own fucking voice. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
you should be. You're funny. You should be. You
I
are.
appreciate it.
Well,
Some of the
Jenny-
comedy managers like, yeah, you're right, kid.
Jenny, do you have anything to plug before we head out? Besides-
This comedy club. I have the North Carolina Comedy Festival.
Yes.
Yes,
We're both
yeah.
performing in
We're
that.
both
correct?
gonna be
Yes, you
there.
are.
Woohoo.
And I just that's really exciting. So that'll be September 3rd through the 12th, and it's we have I think 12 venues now, and
Oh wow.
300 comedians, but it's like 189 stand-ups. I don't know of another festival that is that large.
Yeah, sounds
Oh,
good.
So I don't
Yeah,
know what
bullshit.
I was thinking there, but we'll be fine. So that it is going to be really cool. So there's tons of showcases where it's like 8 to 10 comedians doing their 8 minutes or whatever, 7 minutes, and we have some people coming to watch, and we have some headliners lined up. Laura Keitlinger has been announced, so she'll be here,
Hell yeah.
and
Very
she's
cool.
she is really cool. So like every time I book headliners for this, it's a little bit of a nightmare because you're like, he'd be nice and cool,
Yeah.
and she was actually booked for last year's and then it couldn't happen because of the pandemic, but like coolest, nicest, hilarious, like so talented. So I'm really excited to have her. So she's going to be my favorite part, except for seeing you guys, of course.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah. That's always.
And I will be co-headlining there with Jeremy Older on the July
That's right.
30th. So check.
So-
Go to my Instagram, hit the website, buy some tickets, come out and see me there, and support the Idiot Box. And if not, then the festival. So
Yeah.
Before we go, I have to beg. If you're listening to this and you watch this and you love it, which I know you do, please go to Apple Podcasts and rate and review us. That'll help us immensely growing the show, making it better, and then we could come to wherever you live and do it live.
We'll come wherever you live. I'll come to your living room.
And
If you
yeah,
want, if you pay me all right, I'll come to your living room. I'll tell your parents. I'll help you come out to your parent. Whatever you need. It's
Yeah.
not even comedy. I'll
we
help
should
you
offer
with your
that
life.
service.
Yeah,
We will help you come out to your parents. and
We'll help
be-
you come out to your parents, explain dark truths to them, whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
Help you kidnap your kids. Just do it.
All right, Jenny. Well, this was a lot of fun. Thank you again
Thanks,
for coming
guys.
on.
Thank you.